Forms! So in this video, you're going to be shown how to add a new form, how to make it a particular size. So this one is 1000 pixels wide by 800 pixels in height. We're also going to look at how we can make it appear bang in the middle of the screen like this one has here. And we're also going to do a little bit of code to kind of make this start button go from our first form, which is our login screen, to our second form. So first things first, let's go to project and add a new form. And it default basically sets me up as form Windows form. That's what we want. And I'm not actually going to change the name here because every time I try to change it from form 2 to something else, it gets a little bit wobbly. So if it works for you, great, but it doesn't for me. So I'm just going to press add. And that then will set up a window like so, a form that is, and we've got our form 1 code, we've got our form 1 design there. So first things first, I'm going to change the size of this form, and there's the size there over in the properties. Now I can either click on the plus sign and change them one by one, or I can literally type over what's here. So 1000 wide by 800 in height. And I press enter and it changes up on the screen there. So it updates it. And as you can see, width and height is there as well for us. Now, the start position, the Windows default location, I have no idea where that is. It just seems like it's random most of the time. So I'm going to change that so it is center screen. So the idea is then when I press play, this will appear right in the middle of the screen and it will be that size as we can see here. Now, the issue is when I do press play, it takes me to the form 1, which you'd expect it to because it's the first form, our login screen, as it were. But if I want to kind of test form 2, just to kind of go in and have a look at it, or potentially form 100, instead of having to go through all these different forms to actually click buttons to get to the one I want to, I can just set it so form 2 opens up straight away so I can just check that out and test it basically. And a way to do that, if I click on project and go down to the properties, and that's the name of my project there with the word properties at the end. There are loads of different options to choose from, but on the very first option, if we scroll down to where it says Startup Object and change that to Form 2, and I just Control S or press Save and close this down. Now what should happen is when I press play, it should load up Form 2 for us straight away. Yay, great, like it did there. So I'm just going to basically undo that by going back onto Project, clicking on Properties again, because actually I want my Form 1 to load up because I want to do a little bit of code to help us link them together. So again, I'm going to save that. I've changed it to Form 1. Look, I'm going to close it down, and I'm going to go into Form 1. So the idea is on my Start button, when it is clicked, it will take me to Form 2. But what I needed to do, first of all, I need the form I'm currently on, so that's Form 1, to hide. Now, you're probably thinking, why haven't I typed in form1.hide? Me refers to, or ME as it is there, the form you are currently working on. And it's just the way VB works, and it's kind of just something quite easy to remember as well, rather than you kind of looking around trying to figure out, oh, yes, Form 1 I'm on and typing it in there. Obviously, so it's a little bit less typing if it's just two characters anyway. So we want Form 1 to hide, or me to hide, and we want Form 2, which is the name of our form. As you can see, as I was starting to type it out, I've got it in the options to choose from, and I want that to show. And if I just open up and close a bracket, then that's job done code-wise. So let's test if that works then. So if I press play, now the way I've got it set up, you can't actually do anything on the start button until you type in a username. But when I do press start, what should happen is form 2 should appear over the top of this form, and this form disappears. Because remember, I've got a center screen, and I've got both forms set to 1000 pixels wide and 800 pixels in height. Ta-da!